Right, here we go. Hi everybody, how you doing? Got some fun stuff for you today. Hi, I'm Christopher Runsman. Welcome to One Page Story Extravaganza. If you have a story idea you'd like to suggest, please put it in the chat or the comments. You can feel free to put it on the comments section in any of my social media or any of my posts at all. I do a one-page story from these ideas or ideas that are flowing through my own noggin every single day, and I post them online. If you want to see the original art, it's on my Patreon. The link's down below for that and all of the other social media outlets. Join in the community, have fun, subscribe to things, put the notifications on, all that jazz. But take part, have fun, watch for your suggestion to be made into a story, inspire others maybe with your idea, or, I don't know, be inspired to make some of your own. Either way, it's a lot of fun. Hope to see you soon. Hey, hey everyone, welcome aboard. So that's my new opener. That's how I'm going to open the show from now on. So I can say all the things that I mean to say, but forget to say half the time. So welcome today. Okay, the page I got up on the screen right now is the page from yesterday. It is 3 prompts, triangles, sandals, and and I have to look it up. Oh heavens! Full cart. Boy, oh boy, there we go. Okay, we got people stopping in and saying hi. Hi, Chris, how are you? Welcome aboard. Hi, Miriam, how are you? Welcome aboard. I just typed the suggestion on that video. Oh, fantastic. I'll take a look at it. So listen, for those of you that are joining in, people with the suggestions that they put in, I'm going to post at the start from now on. So this is today's suggestion. It is mankind, as we are today, did not evolve from apes. And that comes from Didi. So thank you, Didi, for that suggestion. I just randomly opened the book, picked one, and there we go. Hi, Barbara. Welcome aboard. So this is what I'll be doing for the suggestions. So anybody that's looking for suggestions from now on, you'll find them at the top of the chat. I think it's just easier than putting it on a post-it that people can't read. So we're going to go with that. I went in and out 3 times. You already see the video on your streams. Video again, not live. Okay. Well, here you are. Welcome aboard. It's confusing a little bit. I'm sorry for those that have seen the other video and then thought, oh, something wrong here. That or he replicated the thing he posted earlier today absolutely perfectly. Okay. Hiya. So let's switch up some cameras here. I'm going to put the overhead on. I've changed the settings for that sucker too. So it's going to be a little bit darker, but it's going to be a little bit easier to see. So, you know what's going on, a little closer for the focus. So, yeah, today's suggestion is, and I'll put it up again, mankind as we are today did not evolve from apes. Okay, so I've got Corbin sitting beside me in the studio today, and I've got, things happening, hip-hop happening. The banner that you see behind me in that video is the banner that we had printed for the convention that just happened. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, so just a side thing. I have got these old business cards from the 1940s, 50s era. Look at the size of these suckers. But what I've done is that I've taken them and I have run over them all with a brayer with some different paint on it. So this gives me a couple of different ideas that I can do with these things. One is if I lay them out on a sheet of papier like this. Hold on, wait for it, it's dramatic. Then I can do a new zine off of these. And because there's different colors and different things rolled out, it lets me change dramatically the backgrounds of some of these images. So a lot of fun in the sun. And that's one thing that I've got lined up to be working on, as well as a whole bunch of stamps and jelly plating stuff that I've been trying out more and more. And so I'm getting a little bit better at it. So what do we got? We got some statements that we're keeping up. We were cloned by aliens, maybe chicken aliens. Oh my goodness. Chris will be knitting while she's watching. I need to finish the scarf for the community service I'm in. Nice. Do you want me to write that? Is that a suggestion, Chris, for me to write down the we're cloned by aliens, maybe chicken aliens? Because I will write it down. We were cloned by aliens. There's the stack of all of the things. I got tired of having that big thing on my desk. So I've got about 25. Again, I haven't looked through them. I just put them in a pile. Cloned by aliens. Maybe chicken aliens. That was a fun, that's in reference, for those that don't know, to a page I did recently about that had conspiracy chickens in it. So, you know. Okay. Yeah, today's page is on the screen. Mankind as we are today did not evolve from apes. What a fun idea. What a fun idea. What did we evolve from? Crustaceans. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know, for those that didn't see it, in the world am I? So here is, this is what my sketchbooks look like, in case you've ever wondered. And I let kids and grandkids draw, and then I'm not too concerned. That's me starting to do the first 7 days, but I forgot as a day 4 what came next. So I've started doing some jelly plate printing inside my sketchbooks, just to give me a beginning place to work on when I'm sketch direction, when I'm out and about. So that's it might be some fun. We'll see. We'll see as we get into it. Okay, getting some pencils out. Let's just start with the old traditional graphite and see where it takes us from there. So there's all kinds of stuff I'm missing. Cloned by aliens, maybe chicken aliens, if you wish. I believe the cloning part to be very likely. The incognito chicken witness. Ray, is that a suggestion? Because I'm going to write it down. That's just genuinely funny. Because the incognito chicken witness, just the whole idea of a chicken in a disguise as it stands in an alleyway watching something happen, just cracks me right up. It's so funny. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, try that if you're doing any of this jelly plating stuff. Jelly plate right in your sketchbook, because I am excited for what that might possibly present to me. And you've already got to start on a page, so you don't have to reboot the blank page. Blah 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 blah. But hello, welcome aboard, Teresa. How you doing? Yeah, so I wrote Miriam's idea down in the book. That's 2 hits in the book. We're not even 8. Oh, we just 8 minutes in, and we've already had 2 hits in the book. Look at this, gang. We're out of control. We're on fire today. Ow, we're on fire. Okay, so yeah, I hope people like that new opener, because I'm going to be using it. Just sharpening lead on my pencil. Hey, hold on a second. I think I have. Yeah, we have the modern technologies to sharpen this. So let's do it. This is a pencil largely used for construction. And I just like the size of these Mastercraft pencils. You can get a whole container of them, about a good 10 or 12 for about $8. And I like the lead, but largely because when I'm having trouble with my hands, and today's a trouble day, I can get a grip on these things because of their size. So, yay, pencil. All right, so mankind as we are today did not evolve from apes. This is good fun. Teresa, I was looking at, if you're still here, I was looking at one of your suggestions is coming up. It will be either tomorrow or Friday. One of the ones about, I think it's a cat that knocks everything off of flat Earth, I think was your suggestion. I think we're going to go do that one this week at some point. I realize they've got a couple suggestions pending. So Barbara said, no, it's a pencil. Yes, it is. Okay, so let's start with doing an ape. Now, I have no expectation for starting today. It's literally just I'm going to start making some marks on paper. and we'll go from there. Like, but there's no part of me that's got any pre-set idea about what I'm going to use. I grabbed a bunch of the trays that I have, so many of kicking around in the studio of all these different materials, and so we'll see what we get into. But I just thought, I mean, I might even keep it just black and white, but I just thought we'd start throwing some stuff down. Miriam says, I want an electric pencil sharpener to sharpen pencils all day and not do anything else. Okay. I think that you are very productive. I can't see you doing that unless it's, I don't know. Yeah, unless you utilize all those pencils for something. I can't imagine Miriam just sitting down and sharpening pencils. So I thought I would do that a tight shot on the face of an ape. So chimpanzee specifically. And just to get us started off, because I think that by stepping into the narrative this way, we can get into that headspace. Sets a tone, right? Depending on how I go about doing the illustration. Miriam says, as well to Barbara. But Barbara's on board. Okay. Yeah, I've taken the thing down from today. If anybody has any question about what today's thing is, it is at the top of the chat, and I'm going to do that from now on. But today, or mankind as we know them today, and we're not evolved from apes, is our idea. So anyhow, I'm just using this one pencil, and it amounts to basically be like an HB pencil. But I like it. I like the lead. I like the way it works. So yeah, I've tried to adapt a new video for the start of each stream, so it just lets me get into things, and it doesn't have any, hey, what's happening beginnings anymore, because always trying to improve something. And this is a great idea from Lorraine. Okay, she has the golden ideas. I would be sitting in a pile of mud, coloring with crayons, and with a random camera knocked over on its side, but somehow pointed at me. If I were left up to my own devices. So, okay, so I'm putting our chimpanzee face in here. Just gonna get cracking. Now I'll add, I think I'm gonna use some different things in here, but for the time being, let's just stick with the pencil and see what that gets us as far as our first image goes before we start. I start getting carried away. I say we, I mean me, before I start getting carried away. Take it easy, Chris. How are you doing? Right. Am I missing stuff? Nope, we're caught up. So I'm curious if anybody's got stuff that they're working on. Thank you for those that have put ideas forward from the video today. That's very exciting. Some fun ones. There's some funny videos. I got in. One was a tribute band to a tribute band from Jim. just fantastic. I know the band I would do. When I do that page, I know what band I'm going to do right off the hop. There's no thinking involved for me. Because if there's one band that strangely gets all kinds of, well, not strangely, they get all kinds of tribute groups, it's Kiss. And I don't get it, really. But, yeah. I've got little images like I'll show you. So here is, can I hold it up? There we go. So I'm drawing that one. This is as much detail as I allow myself because, this is towards Chris's question about when I draw, do I have a reference photo? I like to keep them really small. And the reason that I like to keep them really small is that it forces me to have to figure out a lot of stuff. And I can't, it makes me think about what it is that I'm drawing as opposed to just, here's all the detailed information up close and everything else. And so I can intimate some of the lines, and I can put together some shadows and shapes because it reduces it down. The source is so small that you start looking at it as values as opposed to just linear elements. Now, agreed. I have been told by people in the past that, dude, what's the point? I got the basic shape, that's the point. But people have said, if you have a larger image, you'll have a better resource to work from. I've said, ridiculous things to that in the past, like, hey, I'm drawing, I'm not photocopying, or whatever others, snarky things. And, it's just, that's what I choose to work from, that size. Miriam says, I'm drinking coffee. That occurs once a decade. Uh-oh, she's going to be running around in circles in the house. She'll just be, people will be looking at her, and she's holding on to the curtain rod of the window and just swinging. People will be like, what's that lady doing in her apartment? Barbara says, right now, I'm frustrating cussy cutting. If those words are out of order, like for the first letter of each word, that'd be an interesting sentence. It's already an interesting sentence, but you know what I mean. I guess it's still, you have to change the first vowel too. My brain was thinking castrating fussy something. Anyways, doesn't work. Brain hiccup. So whatever the medium that you're working with, just have fun with it. And if you feel halfway through whatever you're doing, hey, I want to kind of try some of this, put that in there too. Who cares? Oh, I had a logo to show you. I came up with a new little idea. How you doing, Dee Dee? Welcome aboard. Everything's experimental. I don't know. I just thought that was fun. Because I realized that I say that somewhat regularly. Everything's kind of mental, experimental. So I made a logo of it. I shouldn't be allowed any free time. I get into producing all kinds of random things. So the reason that I picked a chimpanzee, and the reason that I've chosen to pull in tightly on its facial expression and its sort of a little bit of concern in those eyes, is because there's a thing in our heads as human beings that we look for human faces and stuff. We look for eyes, and we look for recognizable expressions. It's a survival tack, but at the same time, it's a sense of self and existence, right? So when you see the chimpanzee's face and there's some measure of concern or worry in it, it maybe makes you think that's a problem for people. So we'll see. We'll see who associates that. Barbara says earlier I was talking about his Pencio, and I was corrected. Chris says the logo looks good. Anybody takes offense to that logo, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. There we go. So that's why I've chosen to do the chimpanzee, is that there's enough elements in the chimpanzee face that makes us think of human beings. And so in our starting argument is mankind as we know it did not evolve from apes. By starting out with an image of an ape, it sort of pushes some question to the statement. All right, so just give me 1 second. I got to check upstairs for a sec, so I'll put the old BRB on. Many apologies, but I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Woohoo! Yay! All right. It almost looks like Barbara. Okay. There, see, like much. Barbara. That's not how she spells it. It's one of the reasons that E.T.'s face is the shape it is in the E.T. movie. They made it somewhat emulative of simian face / human face. And for those of you that don't know, that's a movie released in 1980. Very, very popular. Tells people to go home. But they designed him so that we would associate. Some smart thinking, them fellas. Am I missing anything? Chris is crying. All right, so thank you again, everybody, for all the support and everything else of late. I really appreciate that. You know, we really, you know, we sat down last night. I'll tell you what happened. We sat down last night, Lori and I took a look at, hey, how are things doing? And where are things going? What am I doing? And she helped me get a little. You know, every time she sits down with me, she tunes up the engine, you know, and gets me stepping things up a little bit each time. She knows it's a long working process with me, you know. It's a little rough around the edges. So each time she sits down, we look at how things have been going, and we look at where things are going, and we realized that lots of new people have signed up and subscribed, and you know, we got a lot of new names making suggestions, and this is awesome and exciting, and I really appreciate it. And we're getting everything. We're doing some paperwork stuff last night for the new book, all the cover type and all that finalized. So, you know, it never ends. So, is this the Scopes trial? And as Christopher, the court artist? I actually know a court artist. He's a really nice guy. You might know him too. But he does a lot of forensic illustration, a lot of forensic art necessary after crime scenes and stuff. And he comes on the channel here. Boy, to be sitting there in a courtroom and drawing people. You never see really bad. Like, you've got to figure that there's someplace, small town America, small town Canada, where they've hired somebody's nephew, and he's the worst illustrator on the planet, and nobody knows, like, who in the world. Like, everything is like they either all look like manga characters, and so there's a sort of genericity to the characters, or they're just really primitive and like circle heads with smiley faces a line, you know. I would love to see something about that. That'd be funny. Woo, my mind goes off to places, huh? Miriam says this is Gary Hodges. Yeah, that's right. Good friend Gary. Okay, so I think I'll just put some more pieces of information in there. But you can see I'm sort of bringing the lines to a point. Maybe we'll call that the edge of the frame or not. I'm not entirely sure as yet. But the focus in this first panel is the eyes, so I'm not overly concerned about doing the entire face. So I want you looking in the right place. No real hard pressure as I'm drawing this. The eyes, sorry Didi for the usurpation of your name. The eyes look scary. Okay, good. I want some kind of emotive response out of them so that it makes you think about the title. So, and here's the sort of thinking that comes up along the way as we're doing a composition, is that I'm going to carry the image over this way so that we have space right here for the text. And then we'll come in with some other bodies. And just by starting it with a simian face, a simian form, sort of introduces us into that first part of the narrative elements, the visual narrative elements. So I could probably keep, I don't know why I did that so short. I could probably do some more for that to get the lines over to here. So this is a fun idea. For those that might have joined in late, if you're interested in what the suggestion for today is, it's at the top of the chat. And if you're just watching the video right after I finished it, the chat will come up soon. But it's mankind as we know them today did not evolve from apes. Okay, so the intent would be to cut the panel there. So it takes out that bottom part of the lip. I just overextended the line a little bit. Today I drew my dog and remember a stream of you, Didi, years ago where you drew a dog on craft paper. Miriam says, it looks so real, Christopher. Oh, thanks, Miriam. I still draw the huge paintings on craft paper, usually a holiday. Good call on carrying the image over to the right, Christopher, because if you were to carry over to the left, I hate to break it to you, but be off the page. Oh, they're fabulous, as you know. And, I still remember you teaching us. So that's Miriam Tadini. Fantastic. Yeah, that's true. That's some sound logic, some sound reasoning, both regards there from what Miriam's appreciation of Didi's large craft drawings, as well as, the fantastic insight I just got from Barbara about not going off the side of the page. So, okay. So now it's decision time. Mankind as we know them did not evolve from apes. So I guess another thing that we can do, we've already established, mankind as we know them, mankind as we know them did not evolve from apes, right? So if we think about our storytelling in that regard, this next panel image could be something. We could have some guy going, hey, how are you? Right? Because why not, right? Or I can draw a simian sitting down eating, and then from there, we transfer over to a human being sitting on a bench eating. That might be more fun, because this gives us an emotive break from, the way that people perceive this first panel, whether it's with concern, whether it's anxiety, whether it's scary, whatever it is. And then we go to a chimpanzee chewing something, and then we go to a human being chewing something. Miriam says reptiles attributing to Genesis. Oh, there you go. Well, let's work through. Let's first identify. See, so one of the things in an argumentative statement like human beings as we know them did not evolve from apes. I mean, we could look at this in a couple of ways. We can start immediately hypothesizing who else they evolved from, or we can throw off the suggestion of the narrative right at the start, and this is where my brain always goes, is to defy the expectation and illustrate the similarities. Like really, if I start off with a face that you recognize has some degree of similarity to a human face as a first panel, and then with the statement, the language, it's there, well, it's already challenging. But if we then example, here's a chimpanzee sitting in the wild, and then we switch over to a guy sitting on a park bench eating a hot dog in pretty much the exact same pose, then that sort of gives us contrarian sort of argument. We're saying these things, but as we're saying them, we're showing that, humans are kind of really like them, though. So is that true or not? And it forces ideally, now this is the supposition on my part, but it forces the reader to have to make some decisions on the veracity of the claim. So make them think a little bit, at the very least. Thinky. So that's kind of the fun part of it, is making people think, ideally. Could be a panel of experts in animals and a human to resolve the matter. Humans were created in God's image, and God isn't an ape. There we go. See, there again is, and this isn't, I'm not challenging any values or belief systems here. I appreciate and respect whatever people believe. I got my beliefs, but there's sort of an expectation, especially if it's something that's sort of like a sci-fi story, for you immediately to start putting up, lizard people, or we were cloned from space dust, or whatever it is, or it wasn't apes, it was ostriches, whatever. That would be the sort of standard sci-fi approach, is that we were genetically seeded here by Promethean aliens. Sound familiar? Anyways, and I got a different idea that just popped into my head of a sort of solution that's rooted in science fiction or science fact, but at the same time is typically Christopher's absurdity. So I'm busy making strips of fabric to make Barbie a mummy. Planet of the humans. Uh-oh, everybody, duck. Jim Luan's here. Hey, Jim. I like your suggestion of a tribute band Jim, thank you for that. That's a funny one. It's and the band that I immediately think of is Kiss. I understand why so many people do tribute bands for Kiss, because they honestly, let's be specific, they want to wear the makeup. They want to dress up like the crazy, things. And that's fine, and maybe the music, maybe, I don't know. I have never been a Kiss fan myself, except for my favorite song, Beth, I Hear You Calling, which no Kiss fan likes. So Okay, so we're just playing on the idea of here's our chimpanzee eating, and then we're going to transfer over to our human being eating. Paul Pate has joined us. Hiya, Paul. Paul descended from pigs. Ask my wife. And Miriam says, pigs are not kosher, Paul. Okay, so here's our next panel where we've got we're pushing a different direction now from your initial inception of the idea here, and now we're going to start to push along or illustrating our take on it all. Hey, look, I learned how this ruler worked. Here's the trick. You got to take the plastic off. Why didn't anybody tell me that? I got this new ruler, which I've only been using as a sharpener because the eraser has this cool plastic case, but I couldn't figure out how to erase. You just take the case off. Ridiculous. Hey, guys. Question of the day. Do you enjoy tribute bands? Paul says, pig in a blanket. That's what I want to be. Miriam says, I don't know tribute bands. Paul, your last page is a little rated R. Tribute bands are when somebody really enjoys a band, like let's say Led Zeppelin or Kiss or U2, or they really like Taylor Swift, and so they perform in taverns and in shows, and they do all the songs by this specific performing artist, this specific musician, and they dress as them and they pretend to be actually them singing. It's just another form of dress up. So it's, and you'll have some good ones, and you'll have some really bad ones. And you'll have some good ones of really bad bands. Some bad ones are really good bands. I think you get the point. Yes, Corbin. Okay, come on. Oh, that's it? He just wanted to let me know he was there. You coming over? What are you doing? Oh, just a pain today. I don't know if you can see. No, he's not in camera. There's a guy. Yaxley Crew, a tribute band, is in Michigan tonight. Tell me they do all their shows on a boat. I wish it was an Oscar Mayer wiener. An Oscar Mayer wiener I would be. Good for you, Barbara. I know where you come from. Stay tuned, Miriam, Paul says. Oh my. I've seen Yaxley Crew. I love them. Do they perform on boats? Corbin wants to know. Corbin, do they perform on boats? Yeah, he thinks so. At least Corbin thinks that would be the best idea. Because, it's in the name. Come on. There was some band in London that was like a tribute band to Bon Jovi, and it was all somewhat heavyset Italian guys in your late 40s, 50s, and I get it. Again, like I said, it's emulating the things that you enjoy, but it's hard enough for aging rock stars as it is without it being a case of aging, tribute artists of rock stars. It's funny enough. There's a tribute band in Mexico that has played for years. They play the Beatles. There's a really fantastic Beatles tribute group from Japan. They are awesome. They me too. It's just, it's so, they're so good. Like, there's not an ounce of their music that you're not like, they're dead on the money with that. And their voices even sound, one sounds like Paul, one sounds like John. But, it's just slight pronunciation issues, and they've all got, because, they're not 20 years old. They're all wearing Beatles wigs, and they're so clearly, obviously Beatles wigs, and that might be my favorite part of the whole thing. Paul says they dress up like ship's captains. They've been like 40 years or more touring the country. Oh, that's awesome, Chris. Yachtly Crew rhymes with Motley Crew. Actually, if you read that correctly, it's Motley Crew. So anyways, umulats, learn how they work. Motley Crew is a band that plays yacht rock hits. Oh my gosh, that's kind of like Dred Zeppelin. There's a Canadian group called Dred Zeppelin, and they're a reggae band that plays heavy metal songs. They're reggae metal, but the lead singer is named Tor Telvis, and he's an Elvis impersonator. He's a Hispanic Elvis impersonator, and they are genius. Well, since my baby left me. Yeah, so good. So good. Yeah. I want a whole lot of love. Yeah. Dred Zeppelin, like dreadlocks. Like dreadlocks, Corbin. Just had to beat up a cat for a second. Okay. Sax player's named Paul Pate. Is that right? Is that you, Paul? Are you in that band? Do you play the sax? What's better, a cover group or Weird Al? Weird Al, 100% Weird Al, because he does more than just the cover songs. Play tribute band Paul Pate is called Sans Pants. Played the Red Lobster in Lansing, Michigan. Yeah, Dred Zeppelin in Canada. I'm gonna have to look up Yachtly Crew. I don't know if I've ever told you stories about my friend. His dad's this big old German guy, and his dad would, there was just no filter there. He'd go for the punch. And so when we were playing Star Wars in their backyard, and somebody says, "I'm Darth Vader," and he goes, "Dark Father." He just completely spoils the reveal in the second film immediately. At the same time, he's the guy that my friend was a fan of Motley Crue, and he tried to explain. He went into this whole explanation about how umulats are the soft and hard sound of every vowel that they're above. So it's Crue. It's both U's. It's both O's. Hey, it's Drafting with Princess Nicole. Welcome aboard. Are you doing Bigfoot on there? Nope, I'm doing apes, and now I'm going to do another kind of monkey. It's a human being. Thank you very much. Thanks very much. Try the beat. He's coming. I heard a tribute band in Mexico sing "She's an Easy Lover" with an accent. She's an easy lover. Oh my goodness. Excellent. Hi, Nicole. Paul, really, I'm not a sax player. The sax player shares my name. Oh, that's too bad. Speaking of Japanese tribute bands, I saw a film called Mr. Jimmy last night. It's about a Japanese Jimmy Page tribute artist. Great talk. I'll have to look that up. Mr. Jimmy. That's so good. And then Yachtly Crew. Yeah, I love tribute bands that they're not the norm. I like that far more than somebody who's desperately trying to think that they are Kiss or Bon Jovi or whatever. There is there is a band here in southwestern Ontario called Nickel Crap, and they spend their whole set just showing how bad that time period of music is. They do Creed and they do Nickel Crap and they do, I'm sorry, whatever their real name is. And but what's really great is when they cover, they do an Avril Lavigne, Avril Lavigne, skater boy, and I actually like their version better than their real song. Donna used to listen to Avril Lavigne, so you hear her cranking out of her room. So I'm just putting some contrasty shapes in her background here. I'm going to decide where to go next. If I'm going to put some watercolor or some ink, or if I'm just going to go with some color. Who knows at this point? You can go see him and say in the entrance that you are him. There's a lot of misunderstood lyrics down here, but it'll be hard to explain if you don't speak Spanish. There's a channel, and I wish to heavens I could tell you what the name was, but their whole shtick on YouTube is that they find out the translation of things into other languages, and some of these translations, they're not even translations. They're just looking at a picture and go, "Is a roboto," and that's the Terminator, and I can't remember what channel, what country it is. It's a El Roboto. So good. I don't speak Spanish. What I don't speak is bands. That's what Miriam says. I hear you. Yeah, we just don't get any good old Guy Lombardo cover groups anymore. I was at a tavern, and when I saw this, that I was working there that night. I wouldn't have actually gone there if I knew they were going to be there. And I was, going out as a patron that evening. I would have avoided that place like the plague. But this Bon Jovi cover group, it's disconcerting to see a person in their 40s, late 40s, 50s. I'm being generous with that age, by the way. He's probably older. Who's getting a little bit of the rock star, trying to sex it up on the stage, and man, cut it out. But some people were there and they loved it. Yeah, it's tricky when you listen to groups from other parts of the world and you don't speak the dialect, but you really tune into what their music is like, and you really enjoy the song, but you have no context to what the song actually means. You could be listening to who knows what. It's bad enough all the love songs here in North America in the 1980s that I knew their lyrics, but I still, for some reason, ineptly didn't understand their meaning. Like, found out that one Heart song it sounds really kind of nice, but it's about a woman who she and her partner can't have a baby, so she has an affair with this random guy. It's like, what in the world? I thought these were nice ladies. Queen, I want to break free. That line is sung like aguanto un refri. Just imagine it sung with the intonation of the aguanto un refri. Yeah, I guess so. I've heard The Doors sang by a Canadian Aboriginal guy, and It sounded like the stereotypified Canadian Aboriginal dialect that you see on television or movies, where they have this sort of sound here, and yeah, it sounded a little different. Riders on the storm. It's just fun. Okay, so we've got our title panel. We've got our first example panel, right? Mankind. So it says at the top of the chat, if you're looking for what the suggestion is, but I'll just tell you, mankind as we know it did not evolve from apes. And then we will go into a narrative along this, you would think so, right? So here's our ape, and now I'm going to draw a guy sitting on a park bench eating, an apple or something. Like it just, yeah. So why not, right? But I've got a definite closer idea for this that has come up as I was drawing the first panel that I think is going to be a nice enough left turn that people won't see it coming. Today at Didi Stream, we were talking about doors. Well, so was I. People are strange. Riders in the storm, light my fire. Chris, no need to translation. Yeah, it's if you want to know what song I was talking about with heart before, it's all I want to do is make love to you. And I thought this is like a really racy love, couple in love song, and it turns out to be no, it's all about the illegitimate child. Oh, the things we don't know, the things that we can sort of blissfully miss the reality of, All right, so let's draw our guy. So we got our simian eating an apple, and now I'm going to draw our human. And then perhaps for this space here, I might draw human face. Human face. There's a song, there's a Hispanic version of What a Wonderful World that's absolutely wonderful. And it's at the end of the film, Finding Forrester. The whole soundtrack is by this performer. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. I've got the album somewhere in the house here, but just the name eludes me at this moment. And it's the only rendition that I've heard outside of the original that I really, truly enjoy. You get a lot of bad covers. Like lately, they're doing really. I don't know what the hell's wrong with North America in this post-deconstructionist garbage period we're in, but stop covering songs from the '80s with bad, vapid, generic singers like what's the girl? Faith? No, Taylor. Joyce DeWitt. I don't know what her name is. Taylor Swift. That's what it is. What is he eating? The ape? I don't know. An apple? Let's draw an apple. Apple. So, here's an anecdote. Twisted Sister, the band, came years ago to give a concert. They knew their single, We're Not Gonna Take It, was misunderstood as Huevos con Asiente. Oily eggs. The singer, that's D something or other. I want to start a Dolly Parton's tribute band that does house music versions of the music sung in Esperanto. Hi, babe. It's baby's turn to come and harass me now. This is what the cats do. There he is. Baby. Can you say hi to everybody? Okay. So I've got another apple here. Some bites out of. I asked the audience to confirm the phrase. Later, he sang the song with the words. Huevos con aceite. He just leaned right into it, did he? I'm going to draw this guy chillaxing. So this is a fun idea. That's the idea today. There's videos of it on YouTube. Huh. The ape is eating an apple and offering it to Eve. Actually, the ape is a myth or conspiracy. It might have been a fig or a banana. Or the apple is a myth. Might have been a fig or a banana. I was rejected today by 2 cats. That's what happened. But it could be a suggestion for a one-page story. All right, I'll write it in the book. Right, babe? The baby is trying to get comfortable. And boy, dramatic. Yeah, that's we don't know what it was, but it wouldn't resemble what we call the same fruit today. Many of those fruits have gone through quite a bit of change. There's some fantastic stuff. Speaking of which, there's some fantastic stuff that is being discovered in some of the old Mayan settlements and stuff like that, with some of the earthworks with the different plateaus. They have found now three separate valleys that you can clearly tell that these were incubators / testers for what crops you could get to grow at what level of these plateaus. And and I mean, resembling something like, if this is the valley and here's all the steps that are moving down into the center, and it's in an amphitheater type shape, and there's random stairs moving down in the center, but they've actually carved out this entire interior ring within this, nestled within these large hills, these large mountains around, and then the flat base at the bottom. And the whole point is that they were testing different crops, and we found this with archaeological understanding of what old seeds and what old things that they can find in these things. But it was a place where they're genetically altering crops and crossbreeding things and seeing what they can get to grow at what different temperatures. And fantastic. That's awesome stuff. Everybody thinking that the world was not as advanced as it is today. They were, just in different ways. Different tools, different directions. Like the way these guys eat apples. Anyways. You'll get hungry when you read my suggestion on the other video. Well, if you like that as much as I do. Is it hot cross buns? Hot cross buns. This is the apple. Hot cross buns. I want to see a Mel Torme cover group. There are a few things I find more tragic than blues clubs and fancy, parts of town here in Canada. Rich towns that have blues clubs where everybody that plays in these things are pulling their guitars out of their fancy sports cars as they're parking in the parking lot. You ain't got no right to sing a blues. My lady, she scratched my Porsche. Oh yeah, my baby scratched my Porsche. Ooh, from the valley of the garden. Oh, 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 green. I've got on, I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. Yeah, right behind me. If you can see what's on the wall, right there, it says, "We're gonna make a hot cereal lover out of you, out of me, out of you." Mm-hmm. With apples and cinnamon. Apples and cinnamon. This was a television commercial in the 1970s that just lives in my head rent free. This is kind of the kind of decoration that you can see in my studio. Teresa, the Green Giant was definitely. Oh, oh, oh. Human women. By men and. Anyways. All right, so we got our guy sitting on the bench, eating his apple, and I just got to put some boards so that we can sell that it's a park bench. And then we've got, oh, I got to draw his head. I haven't got a head. I can't be going on with the drawing his head in. Poor man, no head. Okay, you two. No, no. I'm going to fight who gets to sit beside Dad right now. Ridiculous. Fuck your cats on the me. I'll put some forest elements in here from the park area. Just, intimate that they're there. I don't have to draw that all. So I haven't made any decisions on whether I'll do anything more than pencil on these, but maybe put his head down, Miriam says. Okay, that's a good idea, Miriam. I'll work on that right now. Put his head down right now. Yes, panel stand. A man has no head. What are you doing? Hold on, you gotta see. This is it. This is my team. You ready? This is my working team. Look at them. Oh, lazy sods. Look at these bozos. These are my helpers in the studio. Oh yeah, boy. Corbin, are you proud of yourself? Corbin, are you proud of yourself? Is this how you help me? Good help these days, huh? Did I wake you up? There's a mat that we have at our front door now that is the two orange tabbies, and their color differences are like one's more orange with the stripes and the other one's more sandy color. And they look exactly like Baby and Corbin. And every time I go in the front door of our house, I'm like, ooh, because I'm a dork. So we've got our guy eating an apple, just like our other guy is eating an apple. So the idea here is that I'm pushing the idea that there might be some truth to it, because look, there's a lot of signs that it could be true, could hypothesize all kinds of crazy ideas, like house cats are actually giant cats are just too lazy to get any bigger. Whatever. At least someone's there in charge. They're guardians like in Egypt. Yeah, if I have a bunch of terrorist mice trying to break into my house, they got another thing coming. There's a band you might want to check out. It's called Brown Zeppelin. Or no, I'm sorry, Brown Sabbath. Brown Sabbath. They're called Brown Sabbath, and they're a jazz ensemble that covers Black Sabbath songs. So if you like the music of Black Sabbath, you get to hear it, performed by a jazz band. It's a lot of fun. It sounds silly, at first, but seriously, check them out. They're fantastic. Because the early music of Black Sabbath is really jazz influenced. Listen to songs like Rat Salad if you're which is such a great name, such a Black Sabbathy name, Rat Salad. But it's actually clearly like a very jazz tune. But yeah, Brown Sabbath. I really enjoy them. All right, so I'm just putting in some fun information in behind our guy as he eats his apple on the park bench. I'm going to put the front part of the bench there, just so it helps people get a sense of closure for the space. And then we'll put some more piece of information in here. And let the viewer's eye decide what is hedgerow and what is grass and what is whatnot. I'm not really worried about that right now. Oh, my mean, overbearing workhorse of a boss tells me I need to get back to work. Thanks, Christopher. Take care. Hey, thanks for coming out, Barbara. Very nice of you. Christopher, if you want to transfer this story to a gel plate, you only need to put it on the plate without paint. It will transfer the pencil without staining the original. You only need to clean it with baby oil. Do I put the baby oil on before or after? Like, is that cleaning like after I've done this process? Because if this works, you realize what a out of control maniac you're going to make me, Miriam, with all my pencil work. After you finish the print. Hey, everybody, it's Gary Hodges. Hey, Gary, welcome aboard. Gary, this is one of the conspiracy pages that we had, everybody in the chat had come up with a whole bunch of conspiracy ideas. And this is what I'm doing today as one of them. And it's mankind, as we know, did not evolve from apes. But what about the mankind that we don't know? I have a video. I'll send you the link. Thanks, Green. There, again, I learned how to use this. Just take the plastic off. Woo! Look at that as an eraser. Look at it go. Look at that erasing away. Who'd have thunk, huh? All right. A couple of more little details. Again, I put all these little random details in the back of drawings, completely expecting to cover them up. with word balloons. I just do it anyways, because that way I can put the word balloons wherever I want them, because I don't have to worry about, well, I left the area behind that blank. Just do the whole thing. Just do the whole thing, and that way you get to put it where you want it. Just an idea. Yeah. Gary, don't take this the wrong way, but I miss your streams. Okay, so let's, I don't have a lot of room there to do this with, but go on. Leaving? Baby is officially becoming annoyed with me, not letting her sleep. It's such an inconvenience to her that I'm doing this stream and not letting her use my desk as a bed. So who do I think I am? So I'm just drawing another shot of our human. Gary says, I appreciate that. I didn't expect to get. I expect to get back to streaming sometime in the foreseeable future, once I have the script for DVSM further along. Oh, hello. That's exciting news. If you haven't had a chance, everybody. Hey, book of the day. Look out. That's it. Here's today's book of the day. Here they come. If you haven't had a chance yet, try to get a hold of copies of these. These are the DVSM books by one Gary Hodges. And there they are. Whoops. Other way around, Chris. This is the 3 books that Gary has put out of DVSM. They're brilliant. I can't sing the praises of these books enough. And you can translate this language, folks. It's a substitution codex, but there's numerous example of letters. It doesn't matter. So, but he's got some fun elements to this. Not only are they wonderful books, I don't want to spoil anything, but the conversation between characters in a vehicle as they're driving to what they need to be doing is absolutely genius as far as character studies go. The artwork's great. There's, I think if you like illustrative style-wise, I would say like Chris Sprouse for this beautiful clean line and contoured face. But he's got fun parental advisories on the back of each of his books, and which I love the advisories. Animal harm. It's got a fly swatter and a fly. You see that? And tobacco use. There's a paper. Partial nudity. Covered up. There we go. Anyhow, these are amazing books, but I don't want to spoil what's going on. But if you look at the cover, right? What's going on with this image? Oh, looks like an eyeball. Anyhow, check these books out. I really, really enjoy Gary's work. So he says he's working on a script for number 4. Well, my goodness, I'm excited by that. So you should all check that out. Look for him online, DVSM. Middle could be. Oh, Gary says thanks. Hey, no, thank you. Creating great work. These are really good. The cover design elements are amazing as well. It's just fantastic in its simplicity. It's not easy for people to do. We have a natural tendency to try to make things more complex. As though it, complexity makes it better, right? I'm just drawing this happy monkey. So the top part of the page is entirely the question. It's the question itself. It's the, it's putting forward the hypothesis of man, despite what we might believe, did not evolve from monkeys. And so here's our presentation of the thesis. And to just put some questioning elements like the similarity in behaviors. And here we've got our tight face of the monkey in a line where it moves from monkey into human. There's a subversive suggestion in that might not make people consciously but unconsciously think monkey, a human. And I know it's not a monkey. I know it's an alien. So, yeah. I'm enjoying Rust City Stabber right now. Oh, hey, second book of the day. Here's some more brilliant business. And the third in this series is being worked on as we speak. And we're going to get to that awesome next question. The two books of Detective Perez. By the way, my wife and I watch a series called Shetland, which has a detective, a D.I. Perez. No relation. Anyways, these are fantastic books by Paul Paint. All the characters wearing pants. It says Paul Paint. It's Paul. These are amazing. These are fantastic books. When Paul first told me about these graphic novels, he says they're about 100 pages each. The moment I opened them up, I look, and he's even numbered them. He's even put numbers on the bottom of the pages, and the first one's 236 pages. So, yeah, they're about 100 pages each. Yeah, but these are fantastic. And if you get a chance, if you're following Paul on Instagram or Facebook, he's posting the panels as he produces them now for volume 3, and I'm really looking forward to that. We got a great question, though. And that question is, how can I purchase your books, Gary? How can one purchase books from Gary Hodges? Are there copies left? So here's our guy on the bench, kicking it back and relaxing and chilling and doing his thing. So, yeah, I don't necessarily have to draw the whole bench in behind him, because the suggestion, the chillax pose, coupled with, the preceding panel, ideally should let a person put it together. And I'm going to put a tree in behind him. And those elements alone should be enough to say, hey, same dude, same place. That's it. Yeah, so if there are any copies available, Gary, you've got somebody who would be very interested in getting hold of those. It's great that you picked up copies of Paul Pate's books. Right. Or at least the one, the Rust City Stabber. One of the things I like about Paul is that he has a similar, Paul's work is that he has a similar idea in his writing as I do. Is hey, I want to put this in. It's going in. It's kind of fun. So we're just going to put some of these little abstract patterns, and should this be colored or even gray toned, you'll figure out what those abstract patterns, represent bushes and trees and just foliage in general, right? So this should be right here, this should be all we need to tell you that this dude is sitting on a park bench. Sitting on a park bench. Act with love. Anyways. Okay. So there's our first foray into this story. We're at an hour 20. So my intention with the remaining part of this page is to, so we've established our identifiable argument based on our suggestion, and we've incorporated that through the top part of our page. Now, the next part of this can be the actuality, the actual story of, where did we evolve from? Did we evolve from anything? I'm not telling you. Anyways, so the idea of the lower part of the page is, so our top part is presenting the argument. The bottom part is going to present the idea of an answer. People are welcome to put down what they think the answer is going to be. That might be fun. And even if you get close to what I think I'm going to promote or propose as the answer, the way I'm going to go about doing it might not necessarily work hand in hand with what you think it's going to be. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up. So here is some of the panels as we've put some of these images together. And you got him leaning in the last, like he's relaxing in the last panel here as well. And so the pencil that I use today is the Mastercraft. This is a construction pencil. If you get a bulk pack, I don't know where you live, but maybe so, maybe no. This is, because it's flat, it's the only pencil sharpener. I don't know if you can see this. It's the only flat pencil sharpener I've ever seen in my life, as opposed to having to use like an X-Acto knife or a blade or something to sharpen your edge. The bulk package actually comes with a sharpener. What? Miriam says a crocodilo saying, sure they are. They didn't come from me. Chris says, nice and fast drawing. Hey, thanks, Chris. That's nice of you. Yeah, it's fun. The idea of taking suggestions of story ideas, story points, and to going different directions with those. And whatever the presentation of an idea might initially be, it doesn't necessarily, because it's being interpreted through this crazy lens, it does not in any way, shape, or form mean that it's going to be what you thought it would be. And so there's something fun to that, Oops, Corbin, when did you get there? Let's hit the, hi. Just bump Corbin. Carrie says, I don't know if my comment went through. All my comics are on my Etsy shop. Search for my name. No, it didn't go through, but thank you for doing that again. Oh, and Teresa says, Gary's on Etsy at Dinosaurs versus Marsbots. Dinosaurs versus Marsbot. There's Gary finishing there. Thank you very much, Teresa. Thank you, Gary. They're fantastic books. Paul Pate's books are on as well. But these, it's a real joy for me to be meeting other creators, other storytellers, and all of us together as we're coming together with different approaches and different styles, different projects that we're working on. It's really cool to meet everybody and to share and engage. And I'm learning other, tools to put in the old toolbox, right, Cord? Of, things like jelly plating I wouldn't have considered before. That's really awesome that we're able to engage and interact and check out each other's work. Hey, Devin, how's the moving going? How's all the unpacking going? I'm excited. For those that don't know, Devin has just gone through a big move, big relocation of pretty much all the household. So Devin will be showing a new video of the new studio soon, is what was announced today earlier. And I'm very excited for that. It's Yolanda, but Devin Rex Art. So it's easier if I say Devin Rex Art. So you remember that instead of trying to look up Yolanda's name. Marsbots. There we go. Everybody's saying hi. Google is lovely. Gary has a great deal if you purchase his 3 books at once. Nice. Nice. Thank you for that information as well, Teresa. That's super cool. Yeah. Gary. Dee Dee with the emojis. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that when we get to see that tour. I always like to see other people's studio spaces. And, because I put mine together so particularly fussy mess over here so that the cats have at least half of my desktop for them to sleep on and keep me from getting anything done on there. Right, Corbin? Right on. Yeah. So, I'm always excited to see what other people's space is like. And because let's be honest, folks, a view into your studio is like a peek inside your brain. Huh? Okay, so I think that tomorrow I'll have this guy finished and posted, but I think that tomorrow I will be working on some of these old cards that I did some off-rolling, whatever you call it. I used the brayer off. I did some braying paint with the brayer. I rolled paint on these. Good heavens. And so these are the surfaces that I'll be doing a whole bunch of panels on. We're going to see what I can pull out of this for a page tomorrow. So how is the Mumbai going, Dee Dee? She is wrapping it up. Oh, okay. Jim says, get the Ultra Deluxe Gary Hodges deals where you buy all of his books and he drives them to your house and reads them to you. For $10 extra, he'll make you cookies. While we know that that's not entirely true, it is a good way to get out of the heat of Arizona, Gary. I'm going to, try to buy a set for somebody up here in Canada just so you can come enjoy the snow. Perfect, Jim. We'll discover he can walk on water. Not Mumby. Not showing mine after that comment. What are we talking about? What did I miss? Gary's books are cool. I have them all and we'll keep them. They will keep you in the edge of your seat. Devin says your drawings today look fabulous. Hey, thanks, Devin. That's nice. What I should have done is drew this page on here with the bugs and stuff. I blew it. This is one of the jelly prints that I've done recently to work on. That's a great base. I might incorporate some of the elements into the panels too. New comments I'm missing. You look fabulous every time, Christopher. Oh, well, geez, come on now. Make this all go to my head. So I'm not sure what the idea is that I'm going to work from tomorrow. I know that I want to get one of Teresa's tomorrow or Friday. Oh, wait. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be doing one of Teresa's ideas. Teresa, who's in the chat today. So, a lot of fun. So, as usual, if anybody's got comments, please feel free to say whatever you like on the streams. I'm all about engagement. If you've got ideas that you want to comment, suggestions or fun things that we can do, let me know. It might take me a while. I got a fair amount of comments in front of me now. It might take me a while to get to things, but because I'm choosing them randomly, you never know how soon I can get to them because, choosing randomly makes it easier for me in a strange way. One, I don't get over-prepared for anything. I'm just ready to go. And what that does is it allows me not to be, working up what the page is going to be in advance and having all of this material to make it all set. The problem with that is it loses its energy and spontaneity. Yes, Corbin. But choosing randomly And if the book also puts things in circulation and gives everybody's suggestions a chance to be done. And I try to get a hold of new people's suggestions as an equal part to outstanding suggestions. But I have an idea with ideas like this card here to do smaller pages. And what I mean by smaller pages is trying to figure out doing some images or some ideas on smaller surfaces. The whole point of this test today is that I will be doing Inktober. The studio is, the studio is a look into the artist's mind, so Teresa says, and well, not showing, she's not showing hers after that comment. Thank you, bye. Okay, bye, Chris, have a great day. Teresa, do you have a channel? Thanks for the stream, says Dee. Art cards. Yeah, there you go, ATCs. Now, I've got a ton of these done. I'll show you. This is for this sci-fi thing that I've been doing on the side. I've been drawing all of these cards, outer space, razzle dazzle, and then I'll give that away. And just, planets and yeah, having fun. Anyways, so it's they're fun. They're fun to work on. I've been enjoying myself doing them, and I've got a piece that I'm working on just in this format alone. So it's now I'm thinking about doing Inktober this way. I'm not sure, but Lori was suggesting that hold on one second. My list for Inktober should be as follows. And we'll see what people think on this. But I'm going to do the standard Inktober list, but I'm going to be doing it from the headspace of, my own, the idea that I had for the 31 that I came up with. I'm going to blend those with these so that having two things to be incorporated into the panel, while it might sound more difficult, I think that by having the initial idea that I had come up with for uno momento, s'il vous plaît. I'll pull it up here. Here we are. So this is the idea that I'd had for what I was going to do. So I'll be doing Supertober, which means I'm going to be doing all of the regular suggestions as Supertober, so that I can broadcast these with all of the regular Inktober people. But you'll know, and I know, that there's a second element to them, and that'll be my list as well. Why, Christopher? Why? Because things aren't complicated enough. That's why. I have no idea why. Just thought, it's. I like the additional challenge to it. It's like taking on the zine swap while I'm still doing my daily pages. How do I incorporate the two things together? So I'm always trying to think about how can I pursue different perspectives and different approaches to storytelling utilizing this Inktober format. In the same way as I think about different approaches to the same kind of storytelling as the one pages, but utilizing the zine format. So it's always about challenging ourselves in different ways. That's why this thing. That's why the statement on my sign says heterodox visual storytelling, because I like to break the rules. That's what it means. I like to break the rules and make new ones. So I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So those of you that are taking part in Inktober, that are doing your own list, awesome. That are doing the standard list, awesome. That are doing whatever list that you've decided to, I'm looking forward to seeing that. That sounds like a lot of fun. But Miriam says, I missed it. I'm going to do a list of artists and the prompts in each style. You're going to do the artist style in each one of them. That's awesome. That's going to be a lot of fun, and that'll be a really challenging one too. But yeah, I'll still be doing Supertober. but I'll just be incorporating the Supertober prompts into these ones. Because that way it's not just spiders. You know what I mean? It's like spiders. And if you remember the original list, it's spiders and lightning, right? Or dream, magnetism. Now, path, telepathy. So it's random, but it's just something. So I think that'll be fine. That'll be fun. But Miriam, I look forward to the idea of the artists and the prompts. You know, lots of fun stuff. Lots of fun things happening. Though doing the 3 prompt pages and doing 3 prompt Tuesdays has been a lot of fun. But I know that it's very frustrating for Dee Dee to try to pull prompts and do her stream. So I think that I hope that there's a good solution that works out for Dee Dee for that, because it is a fun avenue for dialogue and creative dialogue for a lot of people, but it shouldn't be at the expense of her doing her fine work. So I hope that there's a fun solution for that. In the meantime, it's pretty awesome. Everybody engages and takes part in that. Okay, so I'm going to check out. Too late. Already there. I'm going to check out for now, and I'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. EST, 11 a.m. PST, and I'll be showing this page first thing in the morning, as well as Corbin's got a lot to say. So, I'll be posting that for the morning, and I'll be working on a page for Teresa that involves flat Earth and cats, or flat surfaces and cats. I'm not sure which one it is. So either way, it's going to be a lot of fun. Dee Dee says, I've worked out worse than 13 years. Oh, yeah. Like mailing napkins to everyone. Good. You did what? That's a lot of fun. David says meow to Corbin. Hey, she said meow to you. Isn't that nice? Yeah. We still treasure the picture that Dee Dee sent to Corbin. Attention, Corbin, it said on the letter. It's on our fridge. We haven't framed it yet because we both looking at it. All right. I'm going to check out for now. I will see you guys tomorrow at 2 o'clock. All right. Thanks very much, everyone, for coming out. Bye for now.